All right, we're live. Hello. Hey there. This is 12 Days of Christmas, and I am excited and thankful to be here with you. I am Rochelle Lawson, author, speaker, award-winning educator, and coach to young women. And I am super excited about being here with you tonight. As you know, we have been live for a couple days. Well, the 12 days of Christmas is what we're doing right now, but we've been live here for the last few weeks and just sharing some content with you guys around, helping you get your life and live your best life. And so tonight's topic, I'm super excited to share with you, is that you are worthy of love and acceptance. Have you struggled with that before? Knowing that you are worthy of love and acceptance. And that begins, though, with you, right? And so I want to talk to you tonight about learning to accept yourself and love yourself and what that looks like. We're not going to be on here long because I've been doing about 30 minutes each day, but I know that doesn't really hold you guys that long. And so, first of all, though, let me say 12 Days of Christmas. I want to remind you guys, if you have not seen this, this is a copy of my book. It is Girl Get Your Life, A Young Woman's Guide to Life and Relationships That Win. And this book is written specifically for young women, but any woman could read and enjoy and apply some of the concepts and ideas in this book, because the fact of the matter is, if you didn't learn those lessons while you were coming along in your life and in your family, and you still struggle with some of these areas of your life, then it still applies. But my target is to young women, particularly because that's where that's when I had the most of those difficulties in my life. And I believe that had I had that support and that knowledge and information, that I could have chosen better for my life the first time, right? As opposed to coming back on the back end of life and fixing it, right? Like many people do. So it's a blessing that we can change our lives around and have better experiences and really enjoy life and thrive. But when we're younger and we're experiencing those things, and it can be difficult, and we're childbearing and having relationships and bringing children into the fold, can be very complicated and can be very devastating. And so that book is to help to offer support to young women. This is also a journal that I created and published last month. I'm sorry, September, not last month. All right, it is He Says I Am. You guys see that? Oh. Anyway, He Says I Am. It's a 30-day journal, identity journal for young women of faith. And so this one deals with your spiritual man and those that part of us that lives forever, that is oftentimes neglected over the natural man, the soul, the flesh, the mind, the will, the emotions. And so we need to be built up in that spirit man so that we can live well and live forever and let it kind of lead us in our way. So tonight, you are, say that with me, type it in the chat. You are, I am, hashtag I am worthy. I am worthy of love, hashtag I am worthy of acceptance. And firstly, by yourself, right? So I'll just give a little story time here. There were seasons of my life in which I did not love myself. I did not accept myself and who I was authentically. I didn't know, I knew parts of me, and this is just, I mean, this is a journey of life that people go through, but I knew and understood parts of who I was, but not fully, and did not know how to exist in those parts, if that makes sense. So I knew things about myself, but I wasn't comfortable enough in myself to just be, right? To just exist in those characteristics, in those qualities, and be confident in them. Because oftentimes I was not the only one, but a lot of times the only one in my circle that I knew who had those various character qualities. And so, I've talked a lot out here about compromise and the cost of compromise and those kinds of things, and for that very reason, right? And so I played small. I hid under the guise of normalcy, right? That I just wanted to be normal. I wanted to be regular. It reminds me of an episode of The Cosby Show where Theo was having a conversation with his dad about being a doctor or a lawyer like his parents. And, I think he was making all D's in school. And Theo said, I just want to be regular. I want to be regular. I'm going to ride a motorcycle, right? And I'm going to eat bologna sandwiches. I'm going to have me a girlfriend and I'm going to just be regular. I'm not trying to do what you guys have done. I don't want to amass the things that you have. I don't want that lifestyle that you have. I just want to be regular, you know? And um that idea kind of came to me, and I kind of hid under the guise of that normalcy, that regularity. But what I found is that I'm not called to be regular. That's not who I am. That my gifts and my calling is beyond that. So I needed to show up and manifest in the fullness of who I am and be confident in that place, learning to accept that of myself and then to walk in it confidently as well, right? And so I just wanted to share that with you because oftentimes I counted myself out of things and just played really small and did not show up, my best self. Um, I wasn't really affirmed very much in my family growing up, and so I had a lot of insecurities and a lot of insecurities and shy to a degree, but it wasn't really, I thought it was shyness, but it wasn't really shyness because I'm not shy by far. I'm not shy. I lacked confidence and acceptance, and that was the issue. So sometimes we can misconstrue, we can confuse or misappropriate characteristics and say that this is who I am, or I'm one way, but really that's not what it is. It's something different. And so I thought I was shy for many, many years. My mom is quiet. She is shy. One of my sisters is shy. Rochelle is not. And so I couldn't really identify who I was in that family system because I didn't really see myself in the family system, but I still was who I am. And so once I began to learn to accept who I am and to love myself, then I began to manifest and show up, as I was talking about last night. So the first thing I want you to know is that knowing yourself and accepting yourself as you are is hey Steph, thank you for joining. Knowing who you are and accepting who you are is a key part of living free, right? We have to accept ourselves, understand who we are, how God created us, how He made us, why we do what we do, why we love what we love, why we hate what we hate, why we move the way we do around in the world, what frustrates you, what gives you purpose, what gives you energy, what gives you life, what makes you angry, what hurts you, what gives you joy. Understanding all of those things can help you to, first of all, understand who you are so that you can begin to accept yourself as you are and move more freely. Understanding this, we are, you are a force of nature. Can I say that? You are a force of nature. How do I know that? I know that you are a force of nature because I've had an intimate conversation with your very creator. Now, you might think, you don't know me like that, right? You don't know my mama, you don't know my daddy. But I know your creator. And he left a message for me concerning me and you and who you are. And you are a force of nature. You are his most prized creation of them all. It is you, right? In this magnificent universe that he also created. He is the creator of the universe. The universe does nothing for you. It is the God of the creation who does that. He is the only true and living God. He is your creation. And of all the things that he created in the world, in the wide world, you are his most prized creation. What? Yes. The apple of his eye, fearfully and wonderfully made. The Bible says that the Bible says that they ask God, what manner of man, like no, I'm sorry, what is man? What is man? What is man? What is man that you are mindful of him? What, and son of man, that you see about him, that you comfort him, that you care for him? What he This is my most prized creation. Although you can put buildings on top of grass and it still grows, and he set the stars in the sky, right, and they still are finding galaxies upon galaxies that have been yet discovered, the magnificence of all of his creation. And when you look at that, when I go outside at night and I look at the stars in the sky and I think about how awesome, I mean, we use awesome so much that it's really not, but really it is awesome, right? It's full of awe to think about the magnificence of the galaxies that God has created in this entire world. And you are his prized creation. Above all of that, it is you. I want you to think about that. You are his greatest creation, a force of nature. And he is pleased with you. When he created you, he said, it is good, right? When he created the earth and he created everything else, and then he created man, he said, this is a good thing, right? And so learn to accept who you are, loving who you are, and standing in the mirror and looking at yourself, all of your flaws, which we're going to talk about a little bit, maybe tomorrow night. Talk about perception, because it's about perceived flaws. What we consider to be flaws are not necessarily flaws at all, but if you perceive it to be a flaw in your character, in your nature, in your in how you look, then it can be hard for you to look in the mirror at yourself and say, you know, I am beautiful. Oh my goodness, that I am worthy, that I even love myself. Do you tell yourself that? I used to have the hardest time. I'm gonna just be candid with you, as I always am. I used to have the hardest time looking in the mirror at myself, period. Now, for like 9 years, I was a Mary Kay beauty consultant, and I could make up faces and, you know, playing makeup, not playing makeup, but, you know, like playing makeup and do all that kind of stuff. But I had the most difficult time looking in the mirror at myself. I would put on makeup and look beyond myself. I'm being real with you. And maybe that's not your experience, but because I could not accept who I was, I had a hard time looking at myself and saying that I am beautiful. Now, I knew that my face was done, right? So I could look at my face, poop, like a glance over. I know that my eyes were right. I knew my lipstick was on right, whatever, you know, it was done. But I didn't look at myself because I could not accept who she was. And so I want you to learn how to, and I have had to learn how to accept who I am and then love myself, and understanding that my creator, my all wise, all knowing, omniscient God created me and purposed me. And the way that he fashioned me is perfect. It is good, flaws and all. What? What's up, Stormy? So good to see you. Happy holidays. Thanks for coming in. Um, so I'm just talking a little bit about, talking a little bit tonight about you are worthy of love and acceptance. So the second point I want to make to you is that after you've learned to love and accept yourself and seeing yourself as you are and created, then learning to love others is another part of that, because it frees other people to be who they are, right? Allowing them to be free within themselves, not to criticize people for who they are, for how they look, for their characteristics. Because honestly, I believe that the things that oftentimes people make jokes about, or they tease or criticize or belittle people about, is the very thing that causes you to stand out in the world, that makes your difference, that makes your impact in the world. And so if we learn to accept who we are and embrace all of who we are, then we can find what is our superpower, if you will, that makes the greatest impact in our lives and the lives of others. And so, you know, when you love yourself, you accept yourself, then you can see other people's, you can see other people's characteristics, and you can recognize the value in those, and then allow them to be free in that. I know personally, my spiritual gifts are, generally I'm an exhorter, which is a people builder. a teacher, and an administrator. And so I am a little lacking, not lacking, it's just not, those are my strengths, right? And these other spiritual gifts of serving and giving, perceiving, those are a little less strong, if you will. So when I'm in certain settings, I know that I need people like that around me. So why would I belittle someone who's a server or who's a giver because I'm not as much, right? I need them. Like, for example, I had a birthday party for my son years ago, and I can organize it. That's an administrative gift. I can organize it. I can hype the party up. I can bring the people in and do all that. But it was time to cut the cake. Now I ordered the cake, ordered the pizza, ordered all the stuff, right? When it was time for me to serve all that stuff up, I was like, this is not my lane. Okay? Not my lane. And I'm okay with that, right? So allowing other people, I call my mom and I call my sister, like, hey, and they get in there and they serve, right? And that's what they do, and it's no problem. They're like, this is gravy. That's the value of allowing other people to be free in who they are without criticism and boxing them in to be what you think they should be. But when you love yourself and you appreciate yourself and you accept yourself, then you can be cool with everybody else as they are. But it shows a level of insecurity on your part, in us, when we criticize other people, when we belittle other people and berate them about who they are and what they do and what they don't do. And so that's the second part of it. Knowing that you are worthy also allows you the freedom to um, support others in being loved and accepted and accepting them as well, right? I mean, that's something that, middle schoolers struggle with, this whole identity development in the high school. So they put down other people and they talk about other people, and it's really, really, really a bad thing in the African American and Black community, because we have such self-hatred. But if we could just learn to love ourselves and accept who we are, then as a people, we would be so much stronger and more forward moving than we are, because the belittling and the criticisms and the hatred causes people to stumble a lot. It hinders people from being able to move forward, right? Because they don't have the support. They have this criticism. It happens in business, it happens in relationships, all of that. It's like, you don't need to hate on anyone and compare yourself to anyone, because I am amazing in who I am and you are amazing in who you are. And it's fine, right? Whatever areas we have weaknesses, we can grow in those, and there's grace to grow in any area of our lives. That's the benefit of being human, is that we can change and shift ourselves and develop and morph to a degree, if you will. That's the beauty of humanity. And so God was in his infinite wisdom, he created us in that way, that whatever environments we can be in, we can shift and adjust and be flexible and grow. So the third thing is that, the third idea is that I want you to understand this. Okay, y'all listening? There is one who loves you wholeheartedly and unconditionally. There is one who loves you wholeheartedly and unconditionally. He is the one who embodies love. Like, it is through and through his very nature. He exudes love. So not only is it inside him through and through, it comes out of him from every part of him. Everything that he does, every decision he makes, everything he says, every part of his being exudes and oozes, if you will, this thing, love. He is the very expression of love. Who he is the very expression of love. And what that means is his love for you, and because he loves you and he created you, you have the capacity and the ability to equally love yourself and accept who you are, just as he loved you and accepted you among his beloved. You are loved and accepted in the beloved. And so what we have to do is um, close our eyes sometimes and just sit and express that to ourselves. Tell ourselves that I am loved by an all wise God, that I am created by one who is the embodiment of love. He is exudes love. It is through and through him, right? And um, so knowing that will help you to love yourself, to accept who you are, and to love and accept others, to allow them freedom to be who they are as well. This is so foundational, but many of us missed it in our lives, in our families, in our family situations, whatever, relationships. We don't get it. People are so, can be so, people are hurting. And what I believe, and I've believed this for a very long time, is that hurting people hurt other people is not intentional, but it is impactful. You may not have meant to. That's true. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And so we have to be careful about first loving ourselves, loving our God, accepting who we are created in Him, doing the work to do that, and accepting others and allowing them to do the work and supporting them as they grow in that as well. It's no comparisons. I'm my only competition. I am. I can look at you and be happy for you for who you are and what you have or whatever that is. She's got a small waist. Man, last week we went to the hospital. My son had surgery, and the patient transportation person, she came to wheel him out to the car. And I was looking at this young girl and I was like, man, girl, you are snatched. Okay? Snatched. No waistline. I'm like, dang, you have no waistline. I don't know if I've ever not had a waistline. I mean, she had no waistline, early 20s. And I mean, I was just like, man, you had it going on. And gave her that compliment. She was like, thank you. It's like, I love it. And so we can see other people and compare ourselves, but it's not a competition or a comparison. It's I notice who you are and I notice the things about you that are attractive to me, that I think are beautiful, nice, wonderful, creative, supportive, whatever characteristics you have. And I can compliment you on that. It doesn't take anything away from who I am and the wonderfulness that is me, right? I have a waistline, got a little juice, got a little juice on me, a little extra. I'm working on that because for myself, I want to look differently, right? In myself, but it doesn't take anything away from who I am, right? To compliment someone else or to see someone else's greatness or beauty or whatever it is and comment or compliment them in that way, right? And so she walked away with a smile on her face, and she's awesome and amazing, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna keep on doing these, right? Side bends, waist twitches, or whatever she's doing to keep her to keep that. I mean, she was like, and that was like hourglass. I was like, she's doing what she's doing, right? And so we can do that for other people. So, if you agree with me, put in the comments, hashtag I am worthy, or hashtag I love me, hashtag I accept me, hashtag I am God's creation, I am his prized creation, uh, hashtag he is the expression of love, hashtag I am a force of nature in God's creation. So that is your shortened version, if you will. I don't know how short it was, but that is your love note for today. This is 12 days of Christmas, and these are my love notes to you. Be sure to um, go to the link in my bio on all of these sites. We're on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and tap the link in the bio. Go to the link to join the challenge and join me for my free 5-day clear the clutter, clear the clutter, clear the clutter, clear the clutter. Get clear challenge January the 4th through the 9th. It's free. Join me. I would love, love, love to have you join with me. Like and share this post. Share it on your page. Like it if you know someone who could benefit from working with me. Generally, I support young women, ages 18 to 30. You know, some of those are outliers, more towards the middle, but that's who I love to support. And check me out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. You be blessed. Take care. Bye bye.